we are a go. At least I certainly hope we are. There is only one way to find out with these things. Let's go take a peek. The joys, folks, of switching back and forth between multiple platforms. And hopefully we'll be okay. Looks like we're live, okay. Forgive me for doing tech tests, folks. Sometimes it just takes a second to make sure that everything is working the way that it should be. Perfect. Okay, I think we're alright. Let's do this over here. Very cool. Should we play some games of Lorcana? I'm kind of in the mood. Turns out there was a lot of events last weekend. I was at one of them. People were at other ones of them. The other ones were pretty cool. The other one that I'm referring to, of course, was a lovely 2K. 2K over in Ohio, which I was lucky enough to be able to write an article about earlier this week, that had some very interesting results all around. Just going to update my chat doc in OBS so I can see anybody popping in. There we go. Should be fine and dandy. Cool. For the most part, top 8 was pretty stock in terms of the decks you would expect, but a couple different lists that did kind of well. Going to be looking at trying out some of the winners list, the Amber Steel list featuring Rockstar Stitch, some of the second place Ruby Amethyst control list, and some of the 5th place Amber Amethyst like evasives, aggro, thingamadoohick, whatever you want to call it. So why not? Let's get started with these. If you do want deck lists yourself, they are in the description box down below in the article that I wrote. So feel free to go give it a click, check it out, see what catches your fancy if you are so inclined. Alrighty. So no hook is a bit concerning for keeping this hook to shift, so I think I'm going to throw it away. But for the most part, I lean towards keeping, like, grab your swords in the dark. I'm not entirely sure I'm supposed to. I haven't played this deck a whole lot, to be completely honest. Just a little teensy bit. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to try and look for a small tink. Look for a more aggressive start, perhaps, with these Lilos and the like. We found the hook as well. I got punished for keeping the other shifter. Opponent with a hook of their own. You got it. We do find a small tink, though, which is pretty cute. So how do we want to do this now? Opposing steel deck, how likely are we to want to shift big tink? Reasonably, I would say. I think I'm just going to shift this Aladdin, because I'm always going into Simba if I'm playing a 2. Jam in this Captain Hook. So we do have ourselves a pseudo mirror match at least. Maybe not exactly the same list, but similar concepts. Opponents on the lanterns. We are not, I believe. Second Whole New World is never really a card you want to see this early, but that's okay. So got to decide which of these 3s we're inking here, because our hand is a little clonk. I think I would want to give myself the ability to go for tink here. Because at the minute, we kind of need to sing. Because our hand is full of gunk. Good chance maybe we just shouldn't have played this Simba, to be completely honest. If we hold it, we get to guarantee the ink, which might have been a fair bit better. This Simba's not doing a whole lot on this board, to be honest, with these Captain Hooks kind of staring at each other, and neither of us wanting to do very much off the back of Rapunzel existing. This is kind of rough, actually. I think we just got to work towards grab your swords is my initial instinct. So I'm going to hold this tink here, actually. and likely just ink it. It's pretty rough. Maybe I just kept a bad hand here, to be honest. I think it was more the Simba. The Simba feels, yeah, opponent gets to it first as well. Like, this is just, like, kind of disaster. Alright, so if we draw an inkable, we should be okay. I want to give myself the ability to draw Tink as well, though. Weird game, weird game. I'm not super familiar, well, I am, like, familiar with Amber Steel Song as a deck, but I'm not super familiar with playing it. So a lot of these decision points are going to be kind of new to me, and I definitely feel like we've made a good handful of mistakes already. It put a whole new world for me. I'm not sure if I like or hate that. I got the grab your swords back anyway, so I guess I like that. But they do get to kind of burn cards first. They got more out of playing to the board before I did. We draw Tink. Is Tink better than Swords here? Tink into Swords is kind of interesting, but it lets the Cinderella draw cards off a Rapunzel. So you're always going in the Inkwell. I think we just kind of have to, don't we? Take care of everything that can, and then I guess I set myself up to shift the Rockstar. And either way, they can draw off Rapunzel now, so we'll do it this way. Weird. Definitely want to get some practice in with this archetype. No Rapunzel is kind of huge. We can't stop them from drawing cards if they find one, but the fact there wasn't one in their hand is very reassuring. We find one of our own. That's interesting. I think the Rockstar is just better here. Maybe not, though. So if I Rockstar and exert some things, they are going to die. This is curious. This mirror match is going to take some practice, I think. Alright, let's give it a shot. I think I would rather the Lilo than the Stitch, rather the Be Our Guest than a Stitch as well. And then we just go quest like this, I think. Curious, man. Plenty of things to learn here. Need to familiarize myself with Amber Steel more as I go. I know what the deck's trying to do when I'm playing against it. It's more the sequencing on this side of the table. Grabby Swords is pretty good here. There it goes. So thankfully I have a Rapunzel here to make myself feel clever. I can hit a bodyguard, ping off the Cinderella. So we're going to do that to draw maximum cards here. Ping off Cindy. Play the Rapunzel. Target this. Ooh. Wish I'd known about that grab your swords beforehand. Shouldn't complain though, obviously. Not going to fire it yet, I don't think. I think I'm just inking the Tink. Exerting the hook to draw a card. Exerting the Simba to draw a card. Man, this feels great. I understand the appeal of the Rockstar Stitch version of the deck. Opponent's stuck with all these beasts that are just looking a bit embarrassing with no lanterns to pop. There is a Carefree Surfer, that's going to catch them right back up. Fire the cannon. So we can't quite clear everything here. It's actually surprisingly hard to clear a lot of this. I think I would rather the aerial be the one that goes down. I think I'm casting this too. And then I can just go Inca Guest, play this Eric. Exert to draw. I think I have to start questing a little bit at this point, because if I don't, I'm probably not winning this game. Alright. We're learning. Opponent with a Tink, sure thing. Do they have more swords at their disposal? Whole New World, sure. And finding another one of those is pretty good here, actually. We find a Rapunzel. We do find another Grab Your Swords, too, which is arguably even better. More lanterns are not a concern. All right. So we get to go... How do we want to do this? I'm not sure we want to sing this swords, actually. I think we kind of just want to do it. Actually, we probably should have shifted the hook, right? That was probably the actual line. Yeah, probably. Okay, lessons learned. So we'll go smoosh. Smoosh. Draw 3 on Rockstar, I think is where I'm at. We're not singing this. Wow, we have so many cards, this is nuts. Another Tink for the opponent, sure thing. Inking a Carefree Surfer. I think we're okay with that. Like, when they don't have a Rockstar in play... Whoa, another Whole New World! So say, when they don't have a Rockstar in play, these are very redundant. They do give themselves the refill. Definitely a little bit of a punish. We find another Rapunzel. I only have 11 cards left in my deck. Sheesh. Alright, we kind of got to start doing stuff at this point. At least that's how I feel about the situation. This is what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at this moment in time. So I think we're going to go like this. Very cool. Hit this. Ping. Tink. Smash Tink. Smash here. And go quest, quest. And I think that's it for now. Very glad to not have these lanterns in my deck, to be honest. Opponent with the Tink. Rapunzels are going down. Into a Cerberus, sure. So this is going to be one of those situations that we want to take care of this Tink, I think. And we'll go no. No. Probably yes on this one. Cool. Alright. We're learning. We're learning. Grabbing a whole new world is bad news, right? As I'm going to lose. I didn't expect them to have 4, I'll be honest. Most of these lists are not on a 4 copies of a whole new world anymore. Alright, well we learned something. That's fine. Learning things is important. So, in this case, I think we are keeping... I can't believe we're on 3 Eric no hook here in terms of early game. I think I'm going to keep it like this. Try and reward myself with an early sing-song if we had the ability to. Looks like we do not, sadly. Alright, be our guest in the Inkwell. This deck feels like it's going to take a while for me to learn to play properly. Which is fine, I actually don't mind that at all. It's just a bit embarrassing when you're showing yourself off in front of everybody. Okay. I would rather keep this Stitch to try and play on 3, I think. In that world, I'm going to ink the Aerial and look to play out my 2s. Got to relearn all this sequencing again, man. It's crazy. Oh. Oh. Ink in the hand, sure thing. Whoa. Sudden Chill, not a card I expect very often. Sure. So definitely going to be looking to spin the whole new world here, I think, on turn 4 if we draw an ink. Draw an ink, spin the wheel is kind of the name of the game here, I think. Ink's a Cheshire Cat, you got it. Just in time into a Hatter, that's not bad. That is, however, inkable, so... Ink, Shift. Sing. Not half bad, huh? Am I letting the Hatter pick off somebody? Am I letting the Hatter pick off somebody? Probably, yeah. Means they're not questing, that's fine by me, I think. I feel like this was a very good start and put my opponent in a bit of a bind here. Their start wasn't bad. Turn 3 Hatter is very reasonable. Just a bit sad, of course, when your opponent does this to you, I suppose. Does indeed choose to pick off the Aladdin. I think I'm okay with that. Ah, sure, that makes more sense. Not sure I expected Rapunzel's, but sure. Maybe I should have done. I think we're just getting to work here, right? Do a little bit of inking for fun. So many cards here, it's crazy. Am I singing about our swords at this moment in time? Probably not. I can pick a better window to do that. Sure. Here's some lore. Off you go. This was really quite impressive, actually, but I imagine most of the time when you go Rockstar into Whole New World on 4, it does kind of just feel like cheating. Mother Knows Best makes a whole lot of sense. Back comes all of my stitches. Maximus, very fruity. Alright, so this Whole New World... So this Grab Your Sword is now, like, kind of mandated, I think. So we're just going to ink the stitch. Spend some damage over the place. We'll go... Hook into Maximus. Stitch into Hatter. You may draw your card, that's fine. We'll have Eric pick off the Rapunzel. Get a little bit of quest on. Keep the board under control while we're so ahead on lore and have so many cards to work with. Seems good to me. Inky and the Tink. Mickey. Haven't seen a Mickey in a hot second. Multiple Mickeys. Very cool. Alright. Think I am just in the market here to play out a Rockstar. Don't think this is a Rapunzel game anymore. And we'll pass to the opponent. Opponent's going to get their quest on. Seems good. The Mickeys are super interesting. Card is Like, kind of great, kind of awful, depending on the day of the week. Inking these Tinkerbells is surprising to me. It feels like they're probably pretty good in this matchup. Their hand was quite loaded afterwards. Speaking of Tinkerbell, that sounds like a thing we're probably interested in doing here. And by that I mean we're very interested in doing that, so I think we will be. Ding 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 ding. Away goes a pile of stuff. We will ink an Aladdin to play an Aladdin, I think. We will draw a card off of it because there is no harm in doing so, and then we are going to get to work on clearing away some of this stuff because I think we just kind of have to. So Simba hits the Simba. That makes a lot of sense. Eric takes care of a Mickey, and then I think we just quest with our Stitch and force our opponent to pick a fight with us. Rapunzel is fine here. The whole band behind us in this one. You'll love to see it. We are indeed hitting the Simba. Currently still questing for Lethal, so this Hans has got to take care of Aladdin at the very least. Yeah, it goes. Inking a Sudden Chill seems good. More Rapunzels. Makes a lot of sense. These don't really scare me too much at this point, though, to be honest. I think we are just going to quest. So this is just 2, 4, 6, so we don't have to worry about any of that. I think over here we go another Rockstar Stitch. Play a hook. Draw from the hook. Ink the Tink. Take a cheeky peek. And we'll take, I guess, the Stitch. Force our opponent to answer our board again. $13 law is not enough, in my opinion. Cusco also not enough, in my opinion. Indeed, we're all Gucci. We simply get there first. Very cool. That was a heck of a start from this deck. I'm not sure how often you do that, but if the answer is semi-often, it's kind of busto. So we have our Leela Simba start, which we always love to see in this situation. I could instead go hook, Simba, shift, hook, but I don't think that's where we are here. I'm going to keep the whole new world. I think I'm doing it this way. Cool, so let's ink the smash. Lego, if you will. It's the same opponent, sure. I hadn't realized until just now. Alright. So no reason not to bodyguard this, just in case something goes wrong. Flynn Rider, yep, no worries. We find ourselves with another aerial. Seems good to me. Let's take a peek and see what she finds us. We'll take a grab your swords. Don't mind if I do. Man, when this deck is doing its thing, you feel kind of untouchable. Smooth and buttery engine. We vibing, we having a good time. Yeah, I can kind of see the appeal of this deck. You just kind of put these Emerald decks in the garbage, don't you? It's really kind of hard for them to keep up with you, especially if you're going first. You just have all the tools to kind of either go under them or go over them. That's a very good Mother Knows Best, in fairness. Alright. For now, I think I'm holding this Swords, make my opponent respect it a little bit longer. I'll ink the Tink. We'll go Aerial. Hit the Be Our Guest. So I really should Aerial first so that I can ink this if I prefer. Which I would in this spot. I would rather have the Tink, of course. So, note to self. Do that. I will take the Rockstar in this case. Got to get that inking order down. Good chance we ink this Rockstar here, actually, to be honest. My opponent's hand is super full. And we can just kind of spin the wheel on a whole new world. For fairly free. In fact, we can like grab our sword. Yeah, this is just making it even easier for us, isn't it, really? The Sudden Chill. The Sudden Chills are kind of cool from my opponent. I haven't seen that card too. Whoa! Okay, well. Thankfully for us, we do have a whole new world in our hand. So, what we'll do is clear this. Oh, do we clear it? So we can clear this out and basically not have to discard. Or we can ink before we do. I think I'm leaning towards the punchy discard the Aladdin route. Because I can always ink basically anything I draw. This is always questing. Sing a whole new world. We can get our ink on with this Aladdin. And then, I think I was running out this hook. Very cool. Down comes the Lilo. We are fine with that. Yeah, that was not a problematic turn, really, was it? Sadly, we're one resource short of doing it all. Well, not really, right? Because we just go smash into cannons and do it that way. Sheesh. Man, yeah, this matchup feels like it's probably just horrible for the Emerald decks. It's been a bit of a steamrolling both of these games. Yeah. Fair enough. Put the screws in. If you are joining me for the very first time, folks, you're enjoying a little bit of live stream, please do consider popping a like on this video. If you haven't done so already, that would be cool. I'd love to see you for some more Lorcana content in the future. If you like the channel in general, please feel free to subscribe. It would be very cool to have you around for more stuff in the future. If what you want is deck lists, they are available in the description box down below. Go give the article a click for me. Go grab your list of choice and have fun with it. In the meantime, we'll be looking to have fun with another opponent in just a second, whenever we get round to finding one. There we go. Going second this time, so looking for less of the Lilo. I tend to find. Gotta figure out how to mulligan with this deck a bit better, because like part of me just wants to keep the Lilo start, but it's so much worse on the draw that I just don't think you're supposed to do it. So I'm going to keep the Tink in case we find a Tink. And throw it like this. I found a Lilo anyway, apparently. Cool. Very cool. It's going to be a bit of a learning curve for me figuring out how to mulligan with this deck. Alright, looks like we are against the old RA. Which will make us kind of glad in a way that we have this Lilo, I guess. Not these double fire the cannons, though, because these are a bit crap. Alright, let's ink the Stitch. Ligo. So we're going to be looking for a whole new world here, if we can find one, to try and get these cannons away. Alternatively, our opponent can, of course, play a Gaston or something. Oh, that's a good point, actually. I guess I should have played around Gaston by keeping the Stitch in my hand and inking, like, Eric first here. In case I ended up wanting to go Stitch cannons, which was definitely possible. Okay, good to know. So I'm going to go the Bodyguard route here to play around the Rafiki. And by what I mean by that is the Rafiki will hit the Bodyguard and I'll cannons it away. But of course, if I let it hit the Stitch, if I let it hit the Lilo, sorry, I lose the Lilo, not the Simba, which I would much rather lose the Simba. So, going to be a little awkward if there is no Rafiki, because then we would rather have played the Aladdin, but I think in most other scenarios, we're going to be pretty happy if the Rafiki comes down that we did it this way. We have a Maleficent instead, that's fine. I'll probably just burn the cannons on this because it will stop it from singing next turn. And our hand is a little bit awkward in terms of sequencing anyway. Rockstar, we'll keep hold of that one if we can, so let's ink this Tink. Man the cannons, climb aboard, put the Maleficent in the trash. Aladdin. Questy. And this is kind of the point where we have to find a refresh and stop extending to the board in favour of our old pal, old buddy, old pal, be prepared. Probably got another turn or two until we need to be super cautious, but if they play like Aladdin Street Rat here, for example, we've just got to have to cannon it in the face, because we can't let them shift big Aladdin. That would be bad. That would be bad. Another Maleficent instead. Okay. So I'm leaning towards leaving that alive to play around Aladdin Street Rat. I think it depends very much on my draw here. That changes my mind pretty significantly. We'll ink the Stitch at this point, and we're just going to be looking for an inkable. Clear this out. No friends on the other side the easy way for you, and no way of clearing through Simba and another card if you have access to Rafiki. We're going to be looking for an inkable, and we'll just windmill our hand into a fresh one. We vibing, having a good time. Kind of hoping my opponent's hand is like super awkward here. Just no real productive play at this point. Honestly, they can just cast friends on the other side, that'd be ideal. Just draw 2 more cards, draw an inkable, whip them out of your hand, that'd be great. Ah, so they have the Aladdin now? That's a little cheeky. Alright, I'm going to be sensible here, I think. And I'm going to use this swords to make sure that big Aladdin doesn't come down before I refresh with a whole new world. We are very much on the board and winning as it stands anyway. So I would rather not give my opponent the ability to heroic outlaw us. Even if they don't have one, they're very likely to find one from us casting Whole New World. So we just kind of won't do that if we can help it. While there's a Street Rat in play anyway. These Aladdins have been doing some work, by the way. Not normally a massive fan of Steel Aladdin, but it's been quite impressive in these games so far. Makes a lot of sense. So we really want a Whole New World this turn anyway, because we would rather not extend into Be Prepared any more than we already are. We also just might take it away from them and win the game on the spot, so there is that too. They burn a Dragon's Fire? Okay, yeah, they're not in a great place, are they? So this is a very interesting choice. I could just ink Hook and pass. I could play Hook and get it Be Prepared. Oh, this is strange. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I think I'm supposed to windmill this and just force them to have the Be Prepared. It's very likely they have one already, but there's a decision there. There's definitely a decision there. And I would rather play the Hook here than the Lilo. Let's take a look at the graveyard. They did indeed have two of them. If you didn't find another one, buddy, you're torched. Gotta get the soul read on your opponent. Get in there and be like, do you have it? Are you looking for it? Which one is it? Did you find another one? Did you find a third one? Is the game still going? That's the question. You did. Okay. Game still on. Another Rapunzel drawn. So let's start on the aerial. Fair enough. Let's grab one of those. Pop a smash in the Inkwell. And we'll go Lilo, Eric, off your trot. Do you have the fourth one? Certainly not impossible, but if we keep presenting boards that are going to quest for lethal, my opponent will run out of Be Prepareds eventually. We took two of them away with a lovely Whole New World. Ink and a Donald is fine by me. Really put our opponent in the ringer this time, didn't we? Elsa is enough to stay alive. Okay. Opponent doing their best to hang on by the skin of their teeth. Another Lilo. Alright, we're definitely at the point where I think we are just forcing them to have the fourth copy of Be Prepared. I'll hold the smash for now. Kind of tempting to ink it, but I'll hold it for now. Yep, no fourth one. No fourth one, no good. Very fruity, I accept. Oh, neck like a cement mixer. Alright. Going second again. I do still kind of want a one-drop if I can find one. Happy to chuck these Rapunzels. Going second, I'm more inclined to take the other twos over Aladdin, I think. I'm going to run it like this. Alright, well, that counts as a 1, I guess. It's not exactly the one I had in mind, but depending on the matchup, it might be super reasonable to be able to cannon a Lilo. We are against Amber. Oh, look! I can't wait to cannon a Lilo. So we're gonna ink this Aladdin here and hide what our second color is for now. Inking another Smee, you got it. LeFou. Yep. Alright, so I think we're just on board at this point to... I want to give myself the ability to draw Big Tink. I think I'm playing Eric over Simba, so I think we're just giving up that we are Amber Steel at this point, because the Smash is more valuable to potentially keep as well, so we'll do that. Got a whole lot of swords over here, hoping we get some stuff to do with it. More Lilos. Those count. Rockstar, sure. I think I'm leaning towards relying on swords to clean this up if possible. So let's just punch through the Simba, let you get a little bit more lore. Hopefully peel a Tinkerbell like a champion. If we can reassess if we need to. Ruby Amber, sure. Pongo. Okay, so we've got the evasives coming down. Might just smash the Pongo, in which case, if we draw an Inkable. If we don't draw an Inkable, the decisions get a fair bit harder. Oh dear. Alright. I'm going to make the assumption that I draw an Inkable at some point in the future. If I don't, I will be sad. So let's just... I guess I can Tink for it next turn if I really need to as well. Let's just pick these off and hope our ability to clear will catch us back up before our opponent's lore total gets too high here. Let them extend into these swords a little further, perhaps. Mickey, sure. Simba comes down, sure. Alright, so I gotta be a little scared of that last card in hand being Rapunzel. But I think I have to accept that's gonna happen sometimes. If it's a Rapunzel, we're just kinda sad. Oh, yeah. Not a lot you can do about it if you're relying on swords to clean up. We're in trouble now. This doesn't help either. Where are my Inkables, dude? Alright, let's try and find something with this. What is happening? Alright, we are unfortunately getting the wrong half of the deck draw. Opponent had the Rapunzel when they needed it, and we are gunked up with all these uninkables. Yeah, I don't think we were being a Rockstar Stitch here either. We're not technically dead, so I'll stick around. But leaving a Rockstar Stitch alive is not normally how we win our games. This is a swords flowing here for fun now. And of course the 1-drops will start coming off the top now that we are out of swords. This was pretty rough, actually. Opponent had the Rapunzel, and it basically carried the game alone. That's a nasty one to lose. Alright, we'll take one more with Amber Steel, and I'm going to move on to the Emerald Amethyst deck that got 5th. We do get to go first again, which I will accept, because I can only imagine that's a bit better for a deck like this. So I'm going to bin the swords for now. Think it looks like this, actually. Look for the Simba, or at least another good 2-drop. Not quite. Okay, so Inca Stitch. Play a Lilo. And just draw the Simba naturally like a champion. That's the plan. Da 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 da. Opponent is also a Lilo gamer. Hey, look at that. If that's the case, I am probably going to be on maximum disrespect. You can trade Lilos if you wish. Lilo's making a lot of wishes, folks. Alright, so we're on Amber Ruby again. Whoa! What the f... How does that even happen? Alright. Ink. Bodyguard Simba, do your job. Stitch, take out this Lilo. Off you go. Off to the races this game. Lilos for everybody. Opponent joins us on 6 lore. What's the follow-up? It is a Simba of their own, sure. Inks and Mickey. The aerial here is a pretty good one. We'd like to find ink off of this. We do not. Alright, well... I think maximum disrespect mode remains. Off you go. We actually don't win next turn, which is a very relevant number, but we can start trading back into the board if we have to next turn. The absolute maximum disrespect from both players here. Ink the LeFou, what's the follow-up? Rapunzel's a good one. We are probably singing a whole new world here, though, off this aerial. Think so. Righto. Time for a refresh. We are inking an Eric. We're probably just playing this this Tink, can't we? What is this? 2, 4, 6, 7. Think so. Do something about my board. Maximum disrespect this game. Just Lilo, 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 oi, oi, oi. Go, 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 go. Not traditionally how this deck plays, but very much how this one fell. With the Lilo into Lilo Stitch into Simba. And just go, 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 go in an Amber Mirror. We have set ourselves up to tink away our opponent's Lilos if we need to. Yeah. Okay. Weird one. Alright, let's try some of this Emerald Amethyst list. I'm really not that familiar with this deck. I've basically played 2-3 games with it. So this is going to be an interesting little learning curve too. It's very much a deck that kind of came out of the shadows again this weekend just gone by. Meant to be quite good in the face of like the Ruby Amethyst decks, but maybe a little weak to Amber Steel. But we'll see how true that is. Lots of green and purple goodies. I see a Pascal on top of my deck and plenty of evasive goodies. I don't really want to mulligan this Megara in case I don't find another 2. But I am going to mulligan away a couple of these 4s. I think the Cheshire Cat is the better 3 than the Peter Pan. So I'm going to do this in case I brick on a 2. Which I actually did, so kind of glad that we did that. Let's go. I think I'm most unlikely to Jasper. If it's another Emerald Mirror, I'll be a little sad that I inked to Jasper. But I think the other 3s are probably better in most other matchups that aren't an Emerald Mirror. Maleficent. We got some Sapphire goodness on the other side. Ah, it's the Amber Sapphire deck. Cool. I get to play against this one anywhere near enough, so look forward to seeing what this is all about. Megara. You can have some extra power on your Pascal, but you're not going to be doing anything with it. We just want you to be elusive so that you can't get punched. Ink in the Rapunzel, that's fine by me. One less of those to worry about. Usually means there's a second one lurking in the hand though, because you like to keep one in the tank if you can help it. Oh. Okay. Philo coming down. Philo is a little bit problematic for this deck, potentially. I think we'll mostly be okay. I don't think I'm supposed to trade for this Stitch. Feels like that's probably a little bit bad. The extra Pascal probably doesn't fit my curve anymore, but you never know. Let's get a Cheshire Cat on the table and keep going. It's a little bit easier not having to worry about the steel tools here, potentially. They do have a good few answers to Cheshire Cat that are nice and clean, though, so maybe they have a few of those. Ooh! The Maximus. Letting the Stitch take care of Megara. That's pretty good. Don't see Maximus 3 as often as I think you should, to be honest. Alright, well, let's keep the evasive train rolling. Here's a Tink. Let's get our quest on. And we'll just try and curve into a Cuzco. Stitch going to come trade for this Cheshire Cat. Makes a lot of sense. I really do like this Maximus. I think it deserves to see more play than it does. Oh! That's really good. You've forgotten me. Why did you have to do that? That's really good there. That's arguably quite rude. So is that, to be fair. Not a bad one off the top. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, you see. Let's take care of that. Sorry, folks. Dealing with a small handful of things at the same time while we're trying to stream away. Wow, I am running pure as the sun. Like, if these were just 5s in this spot, I would be miserable. And I would be very far behind. Instead, I've just peeled hands into hands like a professional. That's a bit good. You would like me to let it go. I will let hands go, I guess. Nothing I can really do to stop you. You are alive. This is a really, really good one to keep you in the game. Thump, into my ink while he goes. But now the top decks of the 5-cost cards are live, but... Hades. Into Stitch. Was punching this hands, I imagine. Right in his prickly face. Yarp. I like choosing to keep the Philo alive, actually. That seems pretty good. So you're on 10, 11, 12, 13 lore. So currently I'm still winning this race regardless of the top of my deck. That one's not bad. If they've got an answer for the Tinkerbell, though, I am in trouble. Got to avoid another Let It Go, I think, is the only out here, because Hades is still a turn away. But a second Let It Go would be pretty backbreaking. Finds Carefree Surfer, that's no good. We're good into Robin Hood. Nice. Well, that's the power of this deck, alright. Get underneath. Make your opponent look silly as they desperately claw onto keeping your board in check. Pascal does as Pascal wants, or something like that. Speaking of Pascal, I'll be keeping that one. I'll keep one of the 5s. We'll probably just keep 1, 2, 3, 5 at this moment in time. Ink the Hatter if we feel the need. Inking Archimedes. Into Archimedes, okay. I can work with that. So... let's just ink Megara here, I think. And I will play this Pascal. I might not quest with it on 2, though, as I'm a little scared of Rafiki from what is clearly Ruby Amethyst. Might be a little slow if I don't, though. We don't really care about Jasper in this matchup. So we're definitely playing this this Flynn. The question is whether or not we risk, like, I guess it has to be like a befuddle. If it's befuddle, if it's befuddle, it's befuddle. I don't think we're meant to play around that one. It's obviously pretty backbreaking if it's there, but friends on the other side is fine. I can work with that. Opponent getting their quest on themselves, which is kind of cool to see. I will be Megara into Cheshire Cat. Questy. You can take out Flynn now if you wish. Ink the Mickey. Sounds good. Yeah. Goodbye, Flynn Rider. You tried your best. But not really. Maleficent comes down for opponent. They discarded an Elsa, which that tracks. That makes a lot of sense. That also makes a lot of sense. That's a good draw. Let's go Ink Maleficent into Rafiki Pascal. Rafiki can hit this and trade for the broom on the way back. That's going to be fine by me. Let's rack up some lore before this Be Prepared comes to claim our face. Ooh, opponents on the elusives. Inking the Goofy is pretty telling here, though. That one seems like it should be pretty good at picking off my Pascals. Makes me think you are very clearly not that worried about that, which means you are probably prepared for it. Trade for the kitty cat, that's fine. So we are in a position where we have to force the Be Prepared at the very least. So we can't just not do anything. So what I'm going to do is questy, play a Tinkerbell. And I think this is probably... Sure, this doesn't matter. I'm probably not going to ink this Peter Pan. There's a good chance I need it as a part of my follow-up plan. We can kind of stop at 5 in this deck a lot of the time if we need to for a bit. And we'll keep on drawing through. Another Pascal? Okay, I might ink this one. And I think we're just in a position again where, like, I don't need to extend here, right? I'm very much winning this race. I'm just going to force them to Be Prepared me. So this should be Quest Sweeper a lot of the time, I expect. Here it comes! Yep. Alright, so the follow-up is going to be a Hatter. And we need to hope there's no Dragon's Fire in my opponent's hand. Ah! Why? That's really rude. Alright, okay. Flynn, Peter Pan. I'll hold this Befuddle for now. It's probably going in the Inkwell, but you never know. Ursula is a large amount of sad. Inking a Maui is a statement. Rafiki. Alright. I am not really in a position to play around another Be Prepared. And so, I think we do this. Looking for Kuzcos. Looking for Hatters. Looking for friends on the other side. Maleficent, not quite what I had in mind. That is what I had in mind. Okay, Mother Knows Best is a bit of a double-edged sword here, right? We're definitely doing it. But... do we wait? I don't think we wait. This is going to be close. They do replay the Ursula. Draw a card, bring us down to 15. They do go for the Flynn. Makes a lot of sense. The Shield of Virtue. Okay. So 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is rough. I have to make them trade for the Rafiki, or I could lose. Oh no! Wait. Ah, no, this isn't good enough. Because I get to 21. This was almost good enough. Almost. Close one. Not quite. Interesting game, that one. Actually, some really unique decision trees. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, that was genuinely quite unique at points there. Lots to think about. Alright, so throw the extra Olaf, throw the extra Maleficent. I feel bad mulliganing the Jasper, but if I'm not against Emerald, I don't really want to draw this, so I'm gonna throw it for now. Okay, we probably spare the Peter Pan here, then in which case the Cheshire Cats are nearly always better, I think. Get the Olaf on the table. I like Olaf into Megara, by the way. I think it's pretty fruity. Broom. Archimedes. Alright, so our opponent is indeed looking to be Ruby Amethyst again. We're going to get this Maleficent in the Inkwell for now. Flynn. I am probably meant to quest with this. I think. With access to the Rafiki, I can punish my opponent for wasting time on the Olaf, which is nice. Alright, we're gonna have to ink one of these Cheshire Cats here. Why not mull the Peter? The Peter's an interesting one, right? Because honestly, in a matchup like this, I wish I'd kept the Peter Pan in my opener, because I feel like early evasive threats are exactly what you want against Ruby Amethyst. Essentially. Because it's so hard for them to answer them early, they rack up quite a lot of lore. And I think I made a mistake here by inking the Peter over one of the Cheshire Cats in the dark. It was quite an interesting little choice. I actually think that in this spot, though, you might very well be right, though, that mulling the Peter is fine. I just think keeping the evasive threats early is genuinely where I want to be. I think I'm running out this Rafiki. Well, I am when I reconnect anyway. I think I'm running out this Rafiki because I need to be able to ink my stuff if I brick on inkables. My opponent can trade for this Flynn if they want to. They're basically always going to. Foreign reads like keeping a 6. I'm not sure that's necessarily true. P is a 3 as it stands anyway. I don't know. So I kind of said this beforehand, which is possible that you weren't around when I said, but like I'm not an Emerald player like at all. Very much new to playing the Emerald archetypes, and it's very likely I'm just wrong about stuff like this. But from the Ruby Amethyst side of the fence, which is the half of the matchup I normally play, like Peter scares me, evasive scare me if I'm not packing like goofies and stuff. So it felt like a card that was worth keeping, and that could very well be wrong. I wonder if I'm cashing in this Rafiki. This is definitely happening. And I think I am to prevent it threatening the Cheshire Cat in the future. Opponent can trade in here if they want to. This is fine. I mean, it's very much a learning experience for me too. As a typical control player, it's nice to kind of see the other side of the fence and figure out how the sequencing works. It's a good one for the opponent there. So that's a good one for us. Let's trade Rafiki for Rafiki here, so that the Cheshire Cat can't be eaten by the Rafiki. So we've got a little bit of time to work with here before the Be Prepared. So I think we're okay to Ink and Cusco. I'm actually not completely done, Marcus. I will be making some more Snap content in the future. I did step away from the site I was working for a while. I had numerous reasons. But the game is definitely struggling a bit and needs a bit of help, that's for sure. I'm going to run out this Hatter here, actually, and hold this Genie. I agree that it needs some help, and I'm glad that you followed me back from Snap. That's very appreciated. But I'm not, like, done, but yeah, my efforts are also spread on other things at this point too. That's actually not a terrible draw here, because we can kind of hedge around the Be Prepared a little bit. Dragon's Fire here would suck. But yeah, I recently started doing Lorcana content for TCGplayer. There's articles over there. That's unfortunate. And I thought if I'm doing that, I might as well make some video content too. And so here I am, doing exactly that. Probably should have run out that Jasper, actually. Yeah, that was probably wrong. Almost certainly wrong. Fell off when I left 100. I appreciate that, thank you. As I say, I have my reasons. There's only so much I can kind of talk about, which is a shame, obviously. But yeah, I've heard pretty mixed. That's an insane draw, by the way. I've heard pretty mixed things about the situation since I left. Doing my best, Marcus. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, and so if you are a enjoyer of Snap content still, which it doesn't sound like you are, but maybe you are, I will have some more stuff coming back out with another site in the near future, which I kind of look forward to sharing with people. Should be cool. Okay, so this is a bit of a weird way to think of this, but I think we play this Olaf because it's a bit rubbish, and this basically now says, you have to Be Prepared me. I don't really think Olaf is a good follow-up anyway. But this now just says, you gotta clear, otherwise you lose. So it's worth playing it rather than holding it. If it was like a Cusco, I would probably hold it here, I think. The other Elsa. Opponent's doing a good job at locking me out in terms of buying some time. Ink's the Mickey. So no Be Prepared in sight at the moment. Okay, now I have a choice. If they had the Be Prepared, they'd just fire it instead of the Elsa. So I'm going to make them top deck it. Rip it off the top. Punish me. Doing your daily, seeing infinite, but hate the monetization? Yeah. I agree, for the most part. As somebody who doesn't spend on anything outside of the season pass, I agree. I agree that I'm not really in a position to play around it too much at this point now anyway. Did they peel it? They did not. And therefore we get there because we beat a Maleficent in this spot. Bullseye. Ripping a Cusco is pretty good. I accept. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my teeth back into content. Hopefully it reignites a bit of my spark for it too. But they're making some questionable choices. I think that's fair to say. Alright, so in this spot, I think I'll keep the Olaf in case I brick on a 2, so that Pascal is definitely protected. But I'm probably mulling most of the rest of this hand. I'm fine keeping Maleficent. Okay. So we're definitely inking one of these Megaras then, in which case. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. It was a sweet little game. As I say, I'm not an Emerald player typically. I've been playing a lot of like Ruby Amethyst since I started playing, and then I've kind of been playing more like Amber Steel and stuff recently because I kind of need to for content. But this deck did really well at the 2K over the weekend. It put 2 players into the top 8, and I have very limited experience with it, so it kind of made a lot of sense to me, at least, to give it a proper shake. I truly think we're probably just meant to be inking a Maleficent here and holding onto this Megara. It probably becomes ink, but it's worth roughly the same as the Olaf, and it might be worth significantly more. If opponent wants to trade Pascals, I'll let them. Seems like that's probably fine for me. Inking Jafar, sure. So this is Pascal's in Ruby Amethyst? Okay, that's an interesting choice. I think I'm probably in a spot where I just make this Gaston punch a Cheshire Cat, right? Seems like it's most likely the thing I have to do. Pascal in Ruby Amethyst, that's very curious. Friends on the other side is a pretty good one here. I think I'm... Ooh, so this is an interesting choice. So we sing the Friends? I don't think we do. I think we would much rather quest. Yeah, I think so. This is a little worse into... No, I guess it's about the same, honestly, into everything else. But I'm happy to hold the Friends. Let's ink the Tink here. Yeah, opponent's way heavier on the evasives. I don't know if I agree with Pascal. I like the evasives in Ruby Amethyst right now. I think playing the Pongos, the Goofies, the Jet Sams, the like Mickey BLTs. These are all cards that I think are very solid in the deck at the moment, but Pascal seems like maybe a bit of a stretch too far. At least in my opinion. So this Cauldron, pretty good here. Magic Mirror, pretty good here. Yeah, I agree, Marcus, honestly. The list I played at the weekend in the 1K here in the UK, I was on for 4 Pongo, 4 Goofy. I know, obviously, a lot of folks are on even more than that. I think they're really good right now. I think they are probably the correct options to play. It just makes the mirror matches able to actually end inside of 50 minutes. That's an interesting draw. So, we're definitely singing this turn. And I think that means I'm inking the John Silver, because the Genie is worth more. Let's hit the Maleficent. The start was actually reasonably slow. We do have a decent number of tempo tools in our hand. We're probably in a position where we want to play this Tinkerbell and then stop extending into the Be Prepared. I don't think this board as it is likely to force the issue, especially if they've got like Rafikis and stuff. Maybe even like a Maui. Ink's a Pongo. I will accept that. Yeah, the Rafiki comes in. So the Olaf here is probably just trading for that. I might hold this Peter Pan. Yeah, okay. So let's do this here. Play the Tink. And I'm going to hold the Peter Pan. I can follow up with it later. Or I can ink it if I need to Genie. It's been very reassuring to see so many Pongos going into the Inkwell. Opponent just draws a card, sure. Alright, so the question is, does this board force a Be Prepared by itself? And I think the answer is no, and therefore I have to Peter Pan. I expect to get the board cleaned up pretty often, but we are slamming a Cusco. Pongo power creep that set. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You don't expect a card like Pongo to be like backbreakingly good for very long. It's very much a role player, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, early inkable character and probably just power creeps Pongo right out, unless you specifically want a 4-cost character. But it's, yeah, probably not insane forever. And so at this point, if our opponent tries to manage our stuff without a Be Prepared, we'll just be bouncing. They Dragonfire. Okay, so that means I probably have to put my foot down a little bit, because I think they would have been prepared. I think they would have been prepared if they had it. So let's try and close this door a little bit and rely on this Genie and/or Mother's Knows Best to keep opposing characters out of the way. Gonna need to fade that Be Prepared though for at least a turn. I think if it happens right here, I'm in trouble. If it happens next turn, oh sugar. I assumed we were good enough to get through one. I think I'm supposed to play this. If I draw no Inkables, I'm gonna be really sad, but alright, punished a little bit, because inking a hand here kind of blows. Opponent's got all the time in the world now. Double mirror. Okay. Well, we have to extend a little bit further than we are currently, sadly. I imagine John Silver is good enough. I'll hold the Pia. But I feel like this is a stage of the game that we're probably too far behind in a lot of the time. Opponent's just drawing so many cards. It's going to be very, very hard to catch back up here, I think. Inking Maui's is not a good sign. Another Flynn. It's so annoying how bouncing either of these doesn't protect John. So I think what I'm supposed to do... Oh, the card draw doesn't matter. My opponent has double mirror, so bouncing this is okay. I clear the Rafiki, bounce this away. Pass. Got to play some kind of tempo game, but I think we're just way too far behind on cards. And not on high enough like lore total to just steal it because we can, kind of thing. Pink's the pocket watch, sure. Plays second pocket watch, plays Maleficent. That's probably one of the better ways that turn could have gone for us, to be completely honest. But we still lose John Silver here to the other pocket watch. Opponent just failed to draw a card, apparently. Okay. We're no longer in a position to be prepared, I don't think. So... Stuff, don't have one. Not my favourite way to play the game, but a valid way. Draw a card, blow the board up. I can see it coming. Yeah, there it is. As I say, I don't think we were beating another copy here, unfortunately. We're very much in the territory of, like, cool, play the stuff you've got, hope you can steal a game, because, oh, that is our out at this point. The pocket watch kind of makes these Mother Knows Bests, like, super redundant. I think I will probably concede when this board gets cleared. Like that. Yep, very much reached that stage of the game where we no longer had very many outs. It's just a case of, cool, run the gauntlet. If your opponent's got it, they've got it. If they don't, you're Gucci. Hey, Savage, how you doing? I'm having a nice chill evening playing some Lorcana. Hopefully you're having a lovely day too. Thanks for popping your head in the door. Alrighty, looking for a 1, looking for a 1. Let's mold this genie. I think we're just keeping Cheshire Flynn here. No 1. Ugh. That's pretty miserable. Well, I think we're unlikely to be Megaraing here, so in the inkwell you go. Bum 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 ba bum bum. Is this another Ruby Amethyst matchup? Looks like it. Plenty of Ruby Amethyst on the ladder today. Very nice, Savage. Happy to hear. Congratulations. I think I stopped at like 95 today. I'll finish the climb up a little bit later on. Then I have the second account to do, which I haven't logged into yet. Phone is on Mirror Pass. Sure. I might just bounce this Archimedes, because that's quite good for me. Yeah. I think that's probably where I'm at. Boink. Quest. Off you trot. Into the inkwell it goes. Ah, we had the Rafiki anyways. That's a little unfortunate. Was hoping it was just a Maleficent on the other side, but that's how it be. Am I trading Rafikis? Probably not. feels like I just want to get this Tink on the table. This deck is very much not my style, and that's good to know. Like, it's good to be able to pick these lists up that did well and figure out what feels like I would enjoy playing it and what won't. And yeah, it's not too surprising for me really, but the Emerald decks still don't appeal to me massively so far. I'd of course love for that to be a infrequent thing, but still don't think I'm trading for that, to be honest. Got a little bit of time until the Be Prepared is available. Just hoping there is no Dragon's Fire in the immediate future. Feels pretty likely that there is if we are frenzing away. I was really impressed by that Amber Steel list earlier, actually, the one from the winner. Might play a bit more of that. It was really quite fun and really quite thought dense. Had a lot to think about. Pocket Watch is really quite good in this matchup as well. Alright, probably trading for Rafiki's here, I think. And I think the Megara being eaten up by a sweeper is probably completely fine. Any ink gets the genie for us. We'd love to top deck some 5s. Or even arguably just like a 6 after another ink. I think this is the best way we can do this. Because we are 2 turns away from the sweeper. So I think it's probably best that we try and just get our maximum amount of questy in. But not extend too much further at this point. Drawing a card. Alright, well, you will not catch me dead playing another card to this board at the moment, because I think this is about as face up as it possibly can be. Yeah, we'll just quest. We're on 15. Do your thing. Set the world on fire. Because that's the only play now, isn't it? Let's be honest. You can cauldron a bit first, but you are prepared. Hatter. Alright. Have a Dragon's Fire. Because you're not quite at Maleficent just yet. Just got to keep posing the questions in a spot like this, because that is all we are capable of doing. They actually ink a Maleficent, which is kind of nuts. The Elsa? That's okay, that makes sense. Alright, so I think I'm inking the Tink in this case. Do we just force the Elsa again? I think that gets us anywhere. So I shouldn't have inked the Tink, because I didn't want a genie. I inked it under the impression I was genieing and then rethought about it. And in a world where I am not genieing, I hold the Tink, wait to draw another ink if possible. Yeah, it gets so hard in these stages of the game like this when opponent's just like locking you down with Elsa turn after turn. Like, I don't want to bounce these. It's just not enjoyable. It doesn't really get us anywhere. They didn't ink, in fairness. I guess I just make them Elsa again. It's not good, but I think this is where we are. If there's another Be Prepared, we are stone cold, just stoned. But I think I make them Elsa again. Yarp. So at least I get myself to 17 lore in this spot. No, I don't, because there is another Elsa on board, obviously, Scott. Jesus. I guess I will continue to play this game, as I don't really have much of another choice. Feels like all the agency is just in my opponent's hand here, which is never a game I really enjoy playing, so I don't think this deck is for me, personally. I understand the appeal, it does a lot of cool things. A lot of these Emerald cards are really quite good, but not vibing with me personally. That's kind of the best part of card games, right? There's good decks you won't enjoy, bad decks you will. Good decks you will, bad decks you won't. Are you prepared for me? You are. Alright. And we know there's another Elsa on the other side too. That's like the only draw that I'm not conceding, I think. Cusco gives us some kind of shot. Broom's back to be prepared. Not sure that's much going to matter. So, what we need to do here, ideally, is peel another Cusco. It's actually a shame we don't have 8 ink here, because what we could do is quest the Cusco, pick it up, and replay it. If I'd drawn an Inkable, I might have waited. This is the line. This is the only out we have. Replay the Cusco, hope it survives. Opponent gets so many looks at an answer too, it's like absolutely criminal. Gotta play to your outs though. Playing to your outs is an important part of the game. Be prepared going back. More cards draw. They are digging. I don't necessarily think they've got it yet, but they do get like 6 more looks. We are not in a position to play around and find out. Do something about it. They now know if they can answer this Cusco or not. They've seen all the cards they're going to see. Do you have a way? You get another look. Imagine winning that game. That's a very unconventional line, and I'm really proud of seeing it. Highway robbery from Cusco Temperamental Emperor. Proud of that one. That one probably makes a YouTube video. That was a pretty sick one. Gonna take one more game with this one, and then I'll probably move on. That was dope. Pleasantly surprised. Caught myself chuffed. Bit chuffed with that. Alright, we're looking for a 2 to go alongside this Pascal. So I think we are probably mulliganing pretty aggressively here, actually. I'll keep the friends. I'll be pretty sad if we don't find a 1 or a 2, though. We do find a 2, so that's fine. Drawing multiple uninkables is a bit dodge. That one was legitimately a banger, and I'm very proud of myself. Okay, Emerald Mirror makes me wish I had kept the Jasper. Ooh, actual mirror. In that case, I don't think I play this. I think if my opponent would like to trade, they're allowed to. Otherwise, I will when they quest by playing a 3, because my 3s are much better here than my 2 is. No, don't befuddle me, you ass. That's exceptionally rude. To be honest, I'm okay with it, because we probably needed more ink anyway. I don't mind inking the Olaf here and going Maleficent, and then if my opponent plays something I can bounce away with Mother Knows Best, I probably just do it so I can eat the Pascal. Maleficent of their own. Don't really want to bounce that. It's a bit annoying. Probably still doing it though. Feels like it's a bit too good to not do. Megara, go away. We'll go boinkity boink. I could just sing this and play the hands. Is that better? Nah. Boink. Punch. Play Pascal. Off you go. If you want to spend this turn replaying a Maleficent, I'm okay with that, because I start chaining into my Mad Hatters and stuff. Tinked Tink. Tink is pretty good here. So I think I'm keeping Genie over John Silver, of course, because I can only ink one or the other. I'll Hatter and pass, I think. No, that's kind of bad. I think I'm gonna sing this and quest with Pascal. If my opponent wants to pick off one of them, they're fine with that, because we have the board currently. I can now also make something else elusive to punch the Tinkerbell if I'd like to. Cusco comes down. Cusco is a good one. We are past the stage where we're playing Flynn Rider. I think I'm happy to Genie here. Boink. I wanna be the very quest, like no one ever was. Let's keep playing ourselves to the board with all our big booty boys and gals. Ink the Tink, you got it. Genie, boinking back the Mad Hatter makes a lot of sense. Very much in a race scenario here. These bounce effects are probably going to be the most important part of all of that. Down goes the Tinkerbell. We want to get ourselves to a point where we can play 2 cards at a turn. Currently we can't. Cusco, probably better than the Hatter in this spot, in case it you know, gets bounced. Are we trading for this Cusco? Yeah, we probably are, aren't we? The Pascal is like never getting a better use. Away you go, champ. If you are joining me for the first time, ladies and gents, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome to Beyond the Inkwell. This is my Disney Lorcana channel. That's a very recent project of mine. If you haven't already, you are enjoying what you see, you want regular videos and all that hot nonsense, please do consider dropping a subscription to the channel. I'd love to see you again in the future for more It's very cool when you do. You can also drop a like on this stream as well if you like. We don't stream super often over here, but when we do, it'd be nice for more people to find us when we're doing it. Click. Let's draw. We are very, very mad. All of the hats being worn. Inking a hat of their own. Mother Knows Best is really quite good here. God damn. I think we lose this race now, huh? So what, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I actually have to kill the Olaf. Yeah, that's not good. Well, you play to your outs. Go. Oh, thank you, Marcus. That means a lot. I'm glad you're enjoying it so much. Cruella, jeez. Okay, we might not be dead. 3, 6, 7, 8. We're only 19. Why are we only 19? Ah, it's not enough, is it? I can't quite get it all. I'll take a draw in case I've got an answer I'm forgetting. Every hour. That was a sick one, but thankfully, I guess, for our opponent, we are just a little too slow. Really sick little tempo game. So bounce the genie, hit here, hit here, hit here. Yeah, the Cruella ends up alive, which we can't win from. Close one, really close game. Okay, I did say I was going to play a little bit more with the winner's deck list. If you weren't around earlier, the winner was jamming Amber Steel. They are playing the Rockstar Stitch version. I had a pretty good time playing it earlier in the stream, and I'd like to jam some more games with it, so I'm going to switch on over to it. Again, if you are looking for any of these deck lists, they are featured in my most recent article over on TCGplayer. There is a link for you in the description box down below. Go give it a click. You can find all of the top 8 deck lists from the 2K Invitational Qualifier and try them out for yourselves if you like. I think I am a fan of keeping Tinkerbells. I think I'm throwing this Stitch back here. Throwing the Smash back too. A little worried about drawing too many uninkables if I throw them all. I'll keep the Smash. Wish I kept the Stitch. Feels bad. Alright. So I think I'm leading on Hook, but I'm going to regret this when I draw a Rockstar Stitch off the top. And I'll be very happy I did it when I draw a Hook Happy Thoughts off the top. Kind of got to pick a lane and hope you guessed the right one. But we'll try and set this up to go 1 into 2 into Tink into Tink. Pascal. Alright, that's actually kind of interesting. So this Tink is always going here. We're always playing the Aladdin. But what we do on turn 3 here will actually be quite interesting, because there's a number of worlds where our opponent plays something we want to just smash and then kill this Pascal. If we think tempo is more important. But probably not. I imagine most worlds we just go Tink into Tink, because we kill the Pascal that way anyway. Flynn, Ryder, not bad. Emptying our hand just got a lot more attractive. We're drawing aerials, which is counterintuitive to emptying your hand, but not a bad card. So we're just going to get a little bit of our own quest on here. And look to Tink on 4. Tinkerbell Giant Fairies Still in the discussion for the best card in Lorcana, I think, after set 2 at the moment, which is kind of crazy. Card's mad good. Opponent's playing the deck that we, of course, were literally just playing. Into Megara. Megara's not bad here. Let's Flynn eat the hook. It's pretty good. This does, however, mean that our Tinkerbell is about to be even worse for our opponent than it was before. Do I want this smash or this aerial? Probably the aerial. It's kind of close, though. Let's get our shift on. Thump, thump, pss. My opponent's stuff is slightly more dead than it was before. And we'll get our quest on. Because the opponent can trade here if they want to. I really don't mind. Welcome to the land of Giant Tink, everyone. It's a nice place to be. Opponent just passing. Cool. I am fine to just slam this hook as a hard-to-challenge body. And keep my quest on. I'm going to start slamming their Cuscos, Hatters, and the likes now. Cool. I'm hoping we are just far enough ahead that this race doesn't really matter. I'll take the whole new world. Just in case we're not. I don't have to fire it if I don't want to. Questy, questy. Another Cusco. It makes a lot of sense what was gummed up in their hand. Another whole new world, sure. So this ends up being, what, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I think we are just singing this. And seeing what comes off the top. Double grab your swords would have been disgusting. Instead I drew 3 Rapunzels. What a curious choice. Alright. So we'll ink a Rapunzel. We will grab some swords. Play a Lilo. Send the Eric into this Cusco. And then get our quest on with the other 2. And I think we're probably just in a very commanding position, however you cut this mustard. Shouldn't be a lot that Emerald Amethyst can do in a spot like this. Wasn't our best start, but it was a good one, and it was certainly good enough. Turns out, turn 4 Tink is just really good against these Emerald decks. 17, 18, 19, 20, so we are good here. We still get to quest our way to victory, even with the Tink locked off. Easy peasy. Very clean, very buttery game. I do think this deck is arguably a little underappreciated. I think people are slowly figuring out what it can do and how it beats Ruby Amethyst. And I'm not one of those people, I'm still terrible at it, but it just kind of does everything. Has so many options. Alrighty, we are going first, so we're looking for Lilo into Simba. We do have the Simba already. You know what? We have the Lilo. We have the Lilo already. Very nice. So we will keep one of these hooks, throw the swords back, keep the Tink in case we find a Tink. If not, we ink the Tink. This is looking very reasonable. We're going to ink the hook here, basically always, I think. And look to get under our opponent. And find a Rockstar or a whole new world in the next few cards. Opponent looks to be on Ruby Amethyst. They do indeed have the Tibbs. We do find the Tink. Alrighty. Be Our Guest goes in the Inkwell. Bodyguard Syndrome engaged. Lilo, get to work. Lilo into Simba, into Tink is pretty good, even against Ruby Amethyst. Not guaranteed to do that against Ruby Amethyst, but it's certainly not bad. Especially if you get to just punch a Tibbs in the face. Bum, bum. Ink Samawi. Sure, sure. Wow, we are really burning through our hand to contest this board. Curious. Sadly, I'm a turn away from Rapunzel, so I don't get to absolutely punish my opponent, but this just seems really good for me. So I want to keep doing the thing. If you want to give up that much ink to contest this board, I think I'm okay with that. I just don't have to ever fire a whole new world if I find it and don't want to. Unless your hand was like just all inkables, which is very possible, of course. Down comes the Elsa, sure. Going the whole way to clear it out? Alright, this just means I get to draw 2 cards with my Rapunzel this turn instead, which I'm very okay with. Alternatively, I can smash. That might be better, actually. Let's crunch, smash the Elsa. I guess I could get Rafiki'd this way. Yeah, let's not let ourselves get Rafiki'd. That seems kind of bad. Let's play around that. Draw some cards. Can always smash Elsa later, which is a phrase I really hate saying, by the way. It makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. Zeus! Zeus is a nice one. Very well timed, Zeus. I'm all about smashing Zeus, though. That I'm more okay with. Alright, so opponent's hand is like super empty because they gave so many resources to clear our board early. So let's clean up and quest a little. And hopefully we find some of our card advantage before they find some of theirs. They do have significantly more than us, mind you. Inking a Maui here is a bit scary. Yep, that would be why. I can't even smash that, which is super annoying. I could double smash that, but that seems poor. Alright, looking for a whole new world or a Rockstar Stitch, really. We can smash the Maui now, but sadly it was alive for an extra turn. Friends on the other side are going to find some stuff into a Zeus. Grab your swords is about the worst possible. Questy, questy. We are very much in a top deck fight here. That's not what I was hoping to see. Unfortunately, this Aladdin's a bit too big for me to ping down. Alright, this is very much a who draws better situation. I can live with Street Rat. Street Rat's okay at this point because the big Aladdin is already in play. And it gets cleaned up by swords anyway. Please quest with the Aladdin. Please. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, it refills us both. Oh, this is so awkward. I think I have to wait. Okay. I think I gotta be patient. It's good to have it in the chamber, but I don't think firing off here benefits me, because I can't actually, like, ever clear the Aladdin from singing it off the Tink anyway. That's a curious choice. Why would you do that? Now I don't have to sing it. No damage. That's fine. Play Simba Pass. Sure. I mean, that makes sense if you'd done it last turn. I'm kind of priced in now. Okay, Rockstar's kind of a great draw. I'll run the Lilo. Ink the Tink, I think. Possible I should have held the Lilo, but I don't think so. Deal. Snap it off. That's fine. Okay. Rockstar. Draw a card from Rockstar. Please stop drawing me swords. I don't want swords. Elsa? That's not what I expected. That lets me draw more cards. Alright, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ink this. And I'm gonna do this, I think. It's not ideal, but my hand is a bit garbo. And if I get be prepared, well, if my opponent is prepared for me, I think I can still recover. Okay. These swords suck royally, by the way. Okay, so Rockstar. Draw. Please stop. This is not the cards I'm looking for right now. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Bit late, Ariel. You were supposed to find the songs, not join them. Oh, no. I think we're boned, folks. Deck did not want to line up for us there. Just had a good number of draws from Rockstars and found a lot of bricks. We're not out of it just yet, but we're pretty far behind. Gonna need to have Ariel stay alive to have a shot here, I think, to sing this whole new... And she's dead! And she's dead! Making a pocket watch is a bit aggressive if you don't have another one to play. Card's pretty good in the matchup, I think. Alright. Spin the wheel! How many rock stars do I have left? 1, 2, so 2. I don't actually want to draw that many cards at this point in time. I'm kind of behind my opponent by a significant margin. I think I'm just running out of this Stitch. Curious. Opponent with the Elsa is a bit of a Sag. I think we are definitely a little bit too far behind here. Just drawing clumps of grab your swords. Proving to be a bit of a pain in the backside. Opponent played this quite well. We do find the Rockstar. 1, 2. Still plenty of Be Prepareds left. 17. Yeah, we're not really in a position to play around basically anything. We are in a pretty bad spot. So we will extend and hope I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, I meant to draw a card off of this, obviously, but I think we are just kind of priced into extending and hoping that we somehow get there at this point, which we will not, because our opponent is prepared for our shenanigans. Technically not dead. Not sure how we answer a Goofy, but technically not dead. I guess I need to draw Smash. Smash is my out. Alright, well, here's another Stitch. Here's an Aerial. No dice. Closer to the Smash there. Closer to the Smash. Let's take a cheeky peek. None of these are stellar. As I say, I think we're just kind of toast here all of the time, but we'll play to our outs regardless. Rough game. I think with better draws, we definitely have a reasonable chance. That's not the one. We would need to Tink Smash, so we're not going to have the ability to draw any cards anyway. Blech. Not quite. A whole lot of Ruby Amethyst out there today, which is kind of to be expected, but normally see a little less of it on the ladder. At least I have been, but I guess this account is in gold, so there's maybe a little more of it here. Not sure. Whew. Ba -ba. Alrighty, getting to go first is definitely a huge boon. We will keep the ability to Tink. We'll keep the only 2 we have. So I think I would prefer to keep this and look for the 1. The Lilo counts. We are going first, so the Lilo is actually kind of great. I think we'll ink this Rapunzel. We're almost certainly going to at some point during this game. Only an Eric on 2 currently, so if the opponent can test this Lilo, it probably doesn't do very much. Inking Archimedes means you have another one, right? You do. Cool. I will fire a cannon at that, I imagine. I think I would rather use this Captain Hooker's Ink. It's tempting to play it out here, but I don't actually think it's good if I play it out here. I think I just want to use it as ink for the Tink or ink for the aerial. Ooh, we're Emerald Amethyst. Cool. So now I definitely play the Tink, 100% of the time. And we don't quest, of course, so that Flynn doesn't pick off Lilo for free. Just play like a bodyguard or something. I know there's none in the deck, like literally 0, but I would still like you to. Jasper goes into the Inkwell. Sure. If it's just the Flynn... Ah, yeah, okay, sure. I guess in which case I will patiently wait to shift this Tink. Because, well, quite frankly, I would rather not only get my value, but I can empty my hand out to discard to this, especially now that I have a whole new world. So, let me just get my quest on. So now I probably ink next turn, Tink, discard the thing I draw, or discard the Simba, depending on which I ink. And then I've got a whole new world ready to go. Opponent passing on 3 is, like, pretty great for us, especially given they had to ink a Jasper, which means their hand is probably just really heavy on 5s. Like Kuzco's, like maybe some Genies and stuff that they can't ink instead. Mother Knows Best. Those kind of cards. Friends. You must have drawn that right now, otherwise you'd have played it last turn. There is the Zeus. Okay, that's not a card I expected to see, and definitely punishes me a bit for questing with our Tink. Alright, we're just going to hit this. We'll ink this, put the bodyguard in the way to keep Lilo safe. And quest. And then we'll set ourselves up to either Tink or spin the wheel, depending on what we choose to do. Ariel going to give us the luxury of spinning the wheel some amount of the time, if we prefer. Rafiki is a really annoyingly good one here. Opponent must have held that, which is impressive, given that they were skipping turn 3. They're being rewarded for it here. Megara to trade into the aerial. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because now I just get to blow your board out. That feels like that was a good transaction for me. More than it was my opponent. We're inking Friends. We got a Genie? No, Mickey? Why are we inking Friends? Friends seems phenomenal here. If you're only cards in hand are like Mickey, Broom, I want other cards. These aren't very good. Puts the Zeus back. Their hand is empty, so I don't really want to spin this wheel, but I do get to do it for free. So I guess butter me up, Buttercup. I'm spinning the wheel. And this is probably why I can't play steel decks, right? Because I just have no self-control. Interesting. We do have some options. I think they just consist of tinking my opponent, to be completely honest. Not the most exciting follow-up to the whole new world, but it's the one we have. Zeus. Multiple Zeus is an interesting deck building decision. Not necessarily a bad one, but between like Rafikis and Zeuses, that's a lot of that effect if you can't ink any of them. Curious. I look forward to seeing how that plays out for my opponent in general. The Zeuses have seemed pretty good so far, admittedly, but we are also a character-heavy deck in general. Opponent's going to just draw more cards. Okay. I'm going to smash the daylights out of this Mickey. I will ink an Eric and slam this Captain Hook. And get our quest on for a cozy bit of lore up to 11. If they have like more Rafiki Zeus effects, this Lilo is very exposed, sure, but I think it's kind of done its job at this point. It's gained us 4 lore, it might gain us 6. It's pretty good. Yon Silver. Okay, I can work with Yon Silver. So Lilo's not questing. Understood. Let's ink this Eric. I think I'm fine to just fill the board out here, to be completely honest. I don't really see much of a reason not to. Don't think I'm supposed to quest just yet, though. It's tempting to just whole new world there, to be completely honest, but I don't think I need to just yet. Dun, dun, dun. We'll quest with John. I imagine it's locking down the Lilo again. It's probably the way that we're doing this. Mickey. Really way more mid-rangey on the opponent's side here. Wow, okay. Was kind of expected to see like Cuscos and Hatters here, and we're not. We're just seeing like Mickeys and Brooms, which is a very different school of thought. What I wouldn't do for a grab your swords right about now. The smash count? Smash might count. Okay, so this is happening. Let's just get on with it. We can cannons one of these pesky buggers. And now I might just ink this and spin the wheel. Think that's what I'm doing. Okay. Here's a Rockstar Stitch. There are many like him, but this one is mine. Exert. Exert. Draw some cardboard. Do some questing. pass over to you. In comes that Zeus again. Like, if my opponent's just spending their turn doing this, I don't think I care. Like, this is fine. You can get all the broom value you want, but you're just dying. That wheel did in fact have a lot of fortune in it. A large amount of fortune, Florian, you're not wrong. It is a pretty good card, so I'm reliably informed. Especially when you can cast it for free. Nothing tickles my pickle quite like a free Wheel of Fortune. Going first again, so we will be looking for that Lilo. No dice. I will keep Tink, Ariel, Tink and Stitch, however. This isn't quite as good, but it's still not bad. This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 shift, or it's 1, 2, 3 spin, depending on what we want to do. Ink this Ariel, because we have 2 of those. We're almost certainly doing that at some point. Another Emerald deck. Feels like these are just very good matchups for us. Second, Whole New World, not really what we were hoping to see. Kind of got to pick a lane at this point. With us being against Emerald, I think I'm more likely to go the Tink route than the Ariel route. Also, my hand doesn't really want to draw songs at the moment because, well, you know. There's only 2 that we need to play around here. There's no reason not to, right? It literally doesn't matter. Might as well do it. More Cheshire Cats in the Inkwell. Flynn Rider coming down, that's fine. Cool. Ink the Aladdin into the Tink. And we're looking for an Inkable, and we will be a very happy Scot. I'm like more than happy to discard this extra Whole New World to this Flynn's trigger. Alright, Inkable card, please. That's all I asked for. Bow, 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 bow. Jasper for the opponent. Seems good. We don't much care about Maleficent. Are we questing? We are questing. Inkable? That's disgusting. That feels awful, dude. Alright, what if we rummage? Oh, why? Alright, well. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. That's a pretty misery-inducing miss, though. inks the Cruella into a Rafiki. Rafiki's really good here. Trading down is fine. We're still clear with this swords, assuming we draw any inkable. We do get 2 looks at it, thanks to Tinkerbell, in fairness. We can also draw Giant Tink and be very happy about our life choices as well. Few decent options here. Opponent seems to be debating whether they want to run out a 1 cost or not. If it's not an Olaf, I really hope they do. So the only thing they can be thinking about here, really, right? I don't see... Oh, they just forgot to press the pass button. That's also possible. This is getting a bit brutal. I think we're looking for it. Cool. We quest for 1 less, but we'll survive. This has definitely been a bit unfortunate here. Oh, well, never mind. I think we actually ran kind of bad there in the sense of got punished for the amount of uninkables that we drew, because we couldn't like stop our opponent from landing Cuscos and stuff. But I get the feeling their hand might have been quite similar. I've been quite ink light. I definitely think we were in a pretty bad spot there, though. The hand started super well, and we just kind of fell apart. Okay, definitely not keeping the swords. The whole new world. Think without a baby Tink, I'm mulling the Tink as well. Maybe I keep the Tink instead of the Smash, to be fair. Keep it as an inkable. Seems fine. We actually get rewarded by drawing small Tink. No 1-drop, though, which is pretty gnarly. Looks like a matchup where it doesn't much matter if we did, because these Olafs are a pain in the ass. We're against Emerald Amethyst again. Definitely seems like the 3 top decks out in force over this evening. Alrighty, so we're going to get our Tink on this time, no problem at all. These Aladdins are definitely ink this game. Let's play Eric. Dun dun dun. So this is almost certainly just Tink into Tink. I think into Think. We'll go with that. Maleficent coming down. We'll draw a card. That's fine. We can work with that. Alright. Eric goes in the Inkwell. Tinkerbell. And we will take care of Cruella. Trigger goes off. Why did I play that first? Don't do that, chat. Don't do that. Unsurprisingly, I meant to play the Tink after I killed the Cruella. I didn't do that. And that's not very good. Don't do that, chat. That's bad. I believe the kids call that a punt. Alright. We are kind of priced in at this point, I think, to smash the hands. Don't really have much of a choice. Should have had a choice. Don't have a choice, because we're bad at Lorcana. More Maleficents. Sure, sure. Okay, so we are now like several lore behind where we should have been if everything had gone to plan. I think the plan here now is Tink, Eric, and we're going to look to stabilize. Although, as I say, we kind of let our opponent have maybe 4 lore that they really shouldn't have had. So now significantly more. Yeah, this one is very much on me for punting it into the sun. And it goes to show you that one small mistake can be absolutely backbreaking. Because if we sequence this correctly, we're just like absolutely fine. Instead, I didn't do that. I think I am still playing the Tink here. Lessons learned. Okay, this one might have been a bit hard anyway, truth be told, but that doesn't really stop us from having made a pretty fatal mistake. I don't really know how I'm getting through these genies. Probably got to spin the wheel with A Whole New World to find some swords, is my best bet, my best guess. But swords are what I will be looking for. And I'm going to have to find multiples. Alright, we are in trouble. That is not multiple swords. So we are stoned. Okay, well, that was just a game that I kind of threw into the sun for some reason. Didn't want it. That was super winnable. In fact, I would argue that you probably win it if I don't play that like a spoon. But that's alright. That's like the first time I've played a really bad game today. So I'll get the one out of my system. That's right. Okay, you're looking for a Simba pretty bad here. I'll keep the Tink. Yeah, alright. Oh, baby. I don't mind if I do. Let's go. Foot on the gas. Let's see what we're against. More emeralds. We had nothing but ruby amethyst for like ages, and then it's been a pile of emeralds since. This hook is pretty good, unfortunately. Drawing another uninkable isn't. We'll ink the Tink, I think, against Emerald Steel for now. Get our bodyguard on. The hook can trade for that, but it's always going to, so we might as well let it. Get our 2 lore for the occasion. Inking a beast, alright. Into Eric. I think I'd prefer to keep the aerial here, to be honest. Nice. So I guess my question to myself is this hook, is this Eric always picking off this Lilo? I don't think the answer is yes right now, so I'm going to hold on to it for a second. I won't hold on to Lilo for too long, though, because eventually swords will be grabbed and we'll just miss out on 2 lore. Ariel gets smashed. I don't blame her. It's a long night. An opposing hook. So let's start with the aerial. Swords. And that's why we don't like quest with the Lilo, right? We might be able to find a way to get it to stick. So we are one turn away from swords. I'm gonna quest here because if my opponent takes this shit, I can takes this shot. Sorry, Jesus. I can swords to clear the Eric. I think if we wait much longer, we're pretty much subject to like hands 13th in line, grab your swords of our own, giant Tinkerbell, these kind of things. So I think it's time to take the exchange. What think the Tink smashes the aerial. Can you stop doing that, please? Man's been repeatedly smashing aerial, which is a phrase I've got to stop saying. We draw a Tink of our own. Okay. So we just swords here, right? Because it keeps the Lilo safe. Sword's been grabbed. A little bit more questing. Ooh. Neck like a cement mixer today. It just keeps popping. Opponent's not in the best of positions, to be honest, but they can definitely catch back up. This is wonky. I guess Hook ends up being the better play here, to be honest. We'll hold fire on the Lilo for now. I think I'm actually gonna... So apparently there was a Musketeers list that top 8'd a 2K as well somewhere else this weekend. And I'm gonna go dig it up after this game. And I'm gonna give it a shot, because I haven't actually ever played that deck before. And I would like to see how it feels. I don't have that one built in the client because it wasn't from the TCGplayer Invitational. It was from a different 2K, which is a great phrase to be saying, by the way. How cool is it that I can be like, yeah, there were several different $2,000 tournaments last weekend for a game with one set of cards. It's very slick. Ooh. I don't think Emerald Steel can really punish me for extending, so I'm just going to run this out. This seems like a safe quest. Everything else can wait. Simba is fine. Ooh, Mother Knows Best is a bit of a pain. Oh, wait. Oh, we bounced the Tink, sure. I can work with that. No, seriously, I can work with that. I'm about to draw a reasonably large number of cards. That's really rude. So we're doing it. Sing it for the boys, sing it for the girls. Your board no longer exists. How about I draw some more cardboard? Was that a good turn, chat? If so, please explain why. Was that a good draw step? Please explain your workings. Yon Silver, you got it. No questing for this stitch. So we are 15, 16, 17 at this moment in time, which is fine. Let's start by drawing a card, I guess. Cannons. That can wait. Let's just continue to establish a ridiculous board. Here's a Tinkerbell, ping your stuff. Questy, questy, questy. Do something about my board. Boo! Oh, okay. Gonna give it a shake. You are grabbing swords. Sadly, a second one doesn't clear my board like it did yours. Ding dong. Beautiful. Look at that. Deck's really good. Really, really good. But as I say, I'd like to give this Musketeers list a shot. So I don't think there's an import link. But I'm going to take a look. The Bodyguards deck. Just give me a second to do so, chat. I'll take a cheeky peek. No import link, so I'm going to have to build it from scratch. So let's do that. Bear with me while I build, chat. We'll go filters, we'll go orange, grey, because those are the Musketeer colours. We are looking for Lilo, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are looking for Hook. You can see a similar feeling. Oh, there's not 4 of those, there is only 2 this time. To where we were before. We have LeFou. We have 4 of these. We have the 4 Simbas. Seems reasonable. We've got 4 Aladdins again, which I'm pleasantly surprised to see this card seeing more play. Card's been quite impressive so far. Then we get onto some of these bodyguards. We got the 4 Hercs. We have 4 Tinks. We do have 4 of the other Tink as well, so I'll grab them all while we're here. Which makes sense. We have 4 Rapunzel, because that card is good. Shocking, I know. Then we got onto the more of the cool cards. We've got 4 Donald. 4 Goofy. 4 Maximus. The big one. The bodyguard one. 4 Mickey Mouse Musketeer. 4 Smash, 2 Swords, and 4 Tabards. So 4. That should be all of those. Grab your swords. 1, 2. And Tabard. 1, 2, 3, 4. 60 on the dot. Bodyguard! Let's give this thing a go. I've literally never played a game with this deck in my life. We're about to see how it feels. Dun, 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 dun. Right, so I feel like I'm not supposed to keep these Donalds. I feel like I'm going to mulligan as though we are mostly an Amber Steel deck for now. Emerald Ami on the other side. We draw a Herc. Okay. I think we're always running out this Lilo. There's very little reason not to. Off you go. And we'd love to draw a Simba. Simba would be stellar. Otherwise, we'll be looking to go Tink into Tink. Megara, you got it. LeFou. That's not bad here. Let's... Am I questing with this Lilo? I might. I don't think I am, because these are both X1s. They're going to get picked off by a Tink. Didn't want to play more Pascals, no. Jasper. You got it. Alright, so... I think we'll ink the Herc. Run out the Tink. Pass. And set ourselves up for all the funk that is Giant Tinkerbell. I cannot quest. Accurate statement. Grab your swords ain't a bad one either, but that's not what we're here for. Let's just ink this Rapunzel and put my opponent's face in the floor. Thump. Man, this card is absolutely messed up. Maleficent Pass is probably not what my opponent had in mind. I can't say I blame them. Let's start the bodyguards, I guess. Quest. And now, how do you get through? Like, how does a deck like this get to Lilo at this point? You just slam big fat bodyguards in the way. Every turn. So, Musketeers now have evasive, which is a very cool keyword, by the way. Bodyguard. Do I care about trading 2 lore for 2 lore here? That seems pretty good, actually. Let's do that. And then we'll get our quest on. Like, how do you get through this wall? You just kind of don't. And this is what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just clickety, 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 clickety. Okay, that looked pretty good. And by that I mean Giant Tinkerbell is a beating. It's a ridiculous piece of cardboard. And it's like the main reason to be Steel right now. Holy. So going second here. I wonder if you're supposed to keep the tabard. We definitely don't keep both Lilos. I wonder. Let's find out, shall we? I'm going to mull this Maximus and the Aladdin. And we'll science keep this tabard and see if it feels like you're supposed to put it in your opening hand or not. Put inks a Simba, so we are on a more aggressive deck on the other side. So this Lilo is going to make me large piles of sad. And truth be told, this is probably the matchup where you get punished for keeping the tabard in your hand, right? Is if your opponent's on a more aggressive shell, you probably get massively rewarded for it if your opponent's on like Ruby Amethyst. That's kind of the thought process. Opponent's start is good. Mine's not bad though. Tink 3 would kind of be the perfects, I think. You have forgotten me. I have not. I remember you distinctly. Are we in a pseudo mirror match? Ah, we have the Maximus. This has been really impressive. I wonder if more of the Amber Steel decks are supposed to be playing this card. Maybe not this one, of course, because you have so much synergy baked in, but... like, we just don't do anything here. Which is awful. Yeah, not good. This swords are going to have to carry us in a minute, and currently it kills one thing. Okay. With them passing back, that's definitely more of an option for us, I guess. So let's bodyguard Donald here. If my opponent fights through it, the swords clears their board, is the thought process. If they don't, the swords can still clear their board potentially if they get questing. They are looking to fight through it, it would appear. This seems like a bad hit. I think I would have likely just traded the Stitch away. But I mean, they don't know. I obviously know what's in my hand, they don't. But now, like, I could be patient and wait for Giant Tink to clear this up, if I don't mind giving my opponent... oh, that makes more sense. That makes a whole lot more sense. So I just slap down Goofy. This would have been nice if Donald had survived. We're here to learn. Here to learn. Can I afford to be more patient with this swords? I think I probably can. So let's try it this way. This is very much the high risk, high reward line, but I want to learn about this deck, so I am taking said line. If I'd known my opponent was on Sapphire at this point, maybe I changed my mind, but we've only seen Amber up until now, so we didn't know this was the case. Second tabard kind of sucks, unfortunately, at this moment in time. So now I'm more scared because I took a slower approach thinking my opponent was a faster deck, and they are likely pretty happy to be slamming like Hades and stuff here. Yeah, that's pretty cheeks. Alright, lesson learned on that front. Don't do that. Gonna take one more with this one. I'm curious about the deck. I would like to know whether or not there is any real reason to do this than play traditional Amber Steel, because traditional Amber Steel right now just feels like it's great. And I'm trying to figure out what the upsides are of going this slightly more unconventional route in comparison to playing the traditional deck. So we are fine to go. No LeFou. We're really desperate to look for a 1 here, I think. I'm going to keep both of the 3s, because one of them is fine ink. We're looking for a 1, ideally. Captain Hook counts. I feel like this deck going like Lilo into Simba into Hercules is probably really hard to keep up with for some decks. It's a curious thought take. Let's ink the Mickey. Get our hook on the table. But at the moment this is, obviously we're like 2 games in, so, you know. But it's feeling like a little bit more of a gimmick than it is a reason to switch up the cards you're playing. Would love to be wrong, of course. We'll ink the second Simba here pretty happily. And again, no reason to not just bodyguard this on 2, because it changes basically nothing in this matchup. I'd love for the Musketeer deck to be good. I hope it gets some more support in Floodborn. Opponent just goes Mirror, pass. That's fine by me. So we actually quest more aggressively with the LeFou, which I think I am more interested in right now than playing Tink or Hercules. I think I just want to get on the table while I have the ability under the Be Prepared and all that nonsense. The Herc trades for... Yeah, maybe we should have kept the Herc because it trades for a Rafiki instead of the Tink. Probably correct. But the Rafiki probably comes in here if it's here anyway, because it would be too valuable of an asset. Alright, well... I feel like we are obviously super exposed to Be Prepared and the like, but we're just going to get on the table here while we can. Opponent is only on 3 ink and has had no early plays, so if they let us just run, we'll probably just run. Jetsam, sure, so they're the more evasive heavy, lower to the ground version of Ruby Amethyst. And again, I'm just going to try and put my opponent's face in the floor while I have the chance. And I leave the Simba untapped here is the plan, alright? Because then they would have to hit this Goofy. And this is 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're not winning next turn, but we are close. We probably don't have to extend any further. This is probably enough of a board to win this game. So this is the spot where you'd love to just rip Musketeer's Tabard, because it would be insane here. Yeah, cool. Goodbye, opponent. That was definitely a steamrolling. Alrighty folks, that's going to be everything from me for today, but thank you very much to everyone who popped their head in the door and hung out for a little bit while we were live jamming some of these decks from various 2K events. If you haven't done so already, it would be very cool to see you in the future for more content here at Beyond the Inkwell, or over on TCGplayer, of course. If you want to check out my articles there, you're more than welcome to. Please consider dropping a subscription, would be very cool. Leave a like on the stream on your way out if you fancy it. But until next time, I have been Howling Minds. You have been amazing. Have a lovely day. I'll see you again very, very soon. Have a good one.